Welcome all tuning in to spend the next 2 hours with us as we continue our pilgrimage on the road to Eleusis. My name is Dusty Dion. I'm the theatrical director of the Spring Mysteries Festival and the host of tonight's panel. It is an absolute honor. The mysteries approach, and every soul around the world is feeling the call of the great Mother Demeter as they come to witness and participate in her sacred rites. You can register and learn more at springmysteries.com. So tonight's brings us panel discussions with the Temple of Aphrodite, the daughter of Cyprus herself, goddess of love, and with the House of Baubo, the acorn fool, and the sacred one who finds Demeter by the well. Oh, also ancestral deity of laughter and mirth, of course. So share your questions and thoughts inside of the chat. And along the way, we will be mining the comment section for questions to ask our wonderful, wonderful temple hosts here. So we'll begin with the Temple of Aphrodite, but stay tuned for the House of Baubo at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern. So first, let's welcome the Temple of Aphrodite. I am happy to introduce the Votary of the Temple of Aphrodite, Lady Belladonna Laveau. Lady Belladonna Laveau, would you please introduce yourself and the other members of your temple?
I would be happy to. Just as soon as we get all our sound worked out. So it is such an honor to be the Votary of the Temple of Aphrodite. Aphrodite is one of my patrons, and I have long worshipped her and her mysteries. This year's vessel, I'm proud to say, is Eleusis. Eleusis has been a beautiful vessel for our golden goddess, and I have loved working with her. We also have Anna, who was the previous vessel, and Anna was breathtaking as the rest of them. And then Minty, whom I dreamed about. And then, of course, the incomparable Brenna Grace. Thank you, ladies, for all being such amazing vessels of the goddess, and now votives to enjoy her mysteries and share and to carry the wisdom forward so that we can embrace the new vessel each year. We've had so much fun with Eleusis. We haven't had our shopping excursion, but we did get to go to a birthday party and share the love, didn't we, dear? Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, do we have any questions? No, not yet. Okay, well, then let me just say that the thing that I love most about Aphrodite is that when I was the vessel of Aphrodite, I could not pass a flower without buying it. Like I couldn't go in the grocery store. I couldn't go to Pike's Market. If I passed flowers for sale, I had to buy some. And so since then, every year I buy flowers for Aphrodite whenever I get a chance to see her. So that was one of the things. The question is, when working with Aphrodite, what surprised me the most about her? Yeah, it was the flowers. I did not expect it to be such a big deal. And because I always considered the Kore the flower goddess, you know, and I thought that Aphrodite would be more into, I don't know, chasing partners and stuff like that. But it's very much about adoring the body and adorning the body and perfecting the body, making it the most beautiful that it can be. So I was expecting the focus to be on others, but the focus was on her and me subsequently. So I'll pass that on to other people to share.
The most surprising thing, I guess the most surprising thing for me was, so Aphrodite actually talks to me. Like, she has real sentences and real words in your head. And other deities, I just get kind of like a feeling. Like, Athena was very like just kind of present, and I could just feel what she was thinking and wanting me to do. Whereas Aphrodite was literally in my head going, hey, we should go to the makeup aisle. Have you been to the makeup aisle yet? There's some really cute pink stuff. Oh my God. Wait, no, I want that. Stop. Go back. So that was the most surprising thing for me, was literally being able to hear Aphrodite in my head all the time.
Well, when experiencing Aphrodite as a vessel now, I'm learning that she's very strong-willed, where if I say the slightest negative thing about like my body or how I perceive myself, immediately she'll swoop in like she's an ant, and she'll get me. Like, did you seriously just say that about yourself? Do you know what I do to gals that say stuff like that? You're gonna look at yourself in the mirror right now, and you're going to like it. And a lot of our conversations are in the shower.
What surprised me most about Aphrodite was actually two things. The first thing she told me ever was that I have made all humans in my image, and that's where the Christians got the concept of humans being made in God's image. They're made in my image, and all of you have my beauty inside you. Which makes perfect sense, but it shocked me at the time. The other thing that surprised me was figuring out that Aphrodite is in fact a war goddess, and that is why she and Ares are like so high chemistry. She really likes to be part of the battle and on the field.
Oh boy, what surprised me most about Aphrodite? Would you like an alphabetized list or a numerical one? Because that gets that's a little in depth there. I think the thing that surprised me the most is that, particularly within the Eleusinian priesthood here, she has like a roster of who she's picking out years in advance, and you might not know immediately, but everybody else will know around you, and you'll just kind of have an inkling of, oh, hey, this rose thing. Ooh, this rose face cream. Ooh, I want to have this rose flavored candy. And then all of a sudden, like, okay, so guess what? You're going to be holding Aphrodite this year. What? As you're standing upon this dragon horde of rose stuff. Also, the amount of free stuff that Aphrodite gets you. Because people suddenly get attracted to her energy, and all of a sudden, oh, hey, free chocolate. Oh, hey, you're giving me this lovely gift. Thank you. Thank you. She wants you to just say thank you. Just take the compliment and say thank you.
Okay, so what does Aphrodite want us to do daily to worship her? Oh, well, she wants flowers, and she wants you to take care of yourself. She wants you to shower and groom. Your physical body is her temple. That your physical body is her temple. So by making your appearance a work of art and working on yourself, all of those things, doing your hair, people are like, people will love you whether you have makeup on or not. Yeah, that's true, but Aphrodite wants you to enhance your beauty, however that is to you. You know, she wants you to rub lotions on yourself and perfume and drip with jewelry and all those kinds of things. That is what you can do daily to worship her. I have a statue of her in my bathroom, and that is her temple to some degree. I really thought it'd be the bedroom. But I always end up going over to witches' houses, and they've got Aphrodite statues in their bathrooms too. And I'm like, okay, so this is just a thing this is just a thing. You go to fancy like hotels and stuff, and they've got statues of Aphrodite in their bathroom. That's where she is at home, because that's where the grooming happens. Ladies?
Well, I think Bella kind of hit the nail on the head there, where she is all about self-care, self-love, self-grooming. Yeah, she's all about bonka bonka. But at the same time, though, it's like, that's all well and good, but you got to love yourself. At the very least, like yourself. At the very least, be friends with yourself. Like, I remember when I was ministering as Aphrodite, many times she would say, love at first sight is a very rare thing. My son may be the best shot on Olympus, but love at first sight is still a rare thing. You have to get to know yourself. You have to be friends with yourself. And so that was a huge thing about what her message was. And it's not about like you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. You can always love other people when you're not really liking yourself very much, but you have to get along with who you are as a person. And you have to make sure that you're treating yourself the way you want to treat others. And she is very adamant about that.
To jump off of what Minty said, when I held Aphrodite, one of the big messages she gave people were, you cannot truly know how beautiful you are unless you look at yourself through the eyes of someone who loves you. And because we do not see ourselves as someone who is perfect and someone who is absolutely beautiful, we look at ourselves and think, oh my God, look at that zit on here, look at this scratch over here, look at this weight over here. And you know, I look at my fiance every day and I say, wow, he is absolutely gorgeous and perfect. And I love him. And oh my God. And that is how other people feel about you. And that's how Aphrodite feels about you too. And loving yourself. Aphrodite's a cat. She sits there and she grooms all day. And she lays and rests and then has a little bit of fun and then cleans herself again. And it's that cat energy of self-love, truly loving who you are and making yourself the best person you could be. So yes, that is how she wants you to worship her, is worshiping yourself. Worshiping yourself is worshiping her.
Also jumping off of that, I have been working with the vision of sacred selfishness, because one thing that I struggle with is, how do others perceive me? Am I doing the right thing? Do I look good enough? You know, all that anxiety stuff. But with working with Aphrodite, it's been more of, I need to take time for me. I need to have a stronger boundary. I need to take care of myself, because who will? And that really hit home for me. So I've been really enjoying picking out a slot of each day. This is my time. This is just for me. No one has to go over my boundary on this time. And I have to respect that.
I will conclude this question by saying that Aphrodite also wants you to dump your toxic partner. Being in a toxic relationship with someone who may think that they love you, but in fact does not love you because they don't treat you like they love you, is really, it's harmful to you and it's harmful to her mysteries. So kick them to the curb. You deserve to be treated like the goddess that you are. And if they don't do that, they don't deserve you.
Excellent, ladies. Okay, so Lola wants to know, with working with Aphrodite, bringing up insecurities in your appearance, and if so, did it help you work through those? Yes. For me, it did. I did not feel pretty enough to be Aphrodite. And I remember sitting backstage, I had a fan because I was sweating. I had one of those, you know, like this kind of a fan. And I was going, oh my God, I just wish I was prettier. Oh my God, I just wish I was prettier. Oh my God. And I looked up and the Zeus and Ares and Poseidon, and there was one other, maybe Pan, were all staring at me like I was insane. And I went, okay, so I'm being crazy. Okay. She is a little bit neurotic about perfecting the vessel, but what I have learned about that is that what she's doing is it's less about you're not good enough and more about this is the detail that would make you look even better. This is the detail over here. This is the detail over here. It's like when you have, when you're buying a new piece of clothing. Here, babe. When you're buying a new piece of clothing and you don't notice the details. You got a Walmart t-shirt and you got a t-shirt from Nordstrom. It's the little details that make it more expensive. And so she's just trying to add that value to you. And if you take it as criticism, then it's not so good. You know, it's like when your mom is not necessarily criticizing you. She's trying to perfect you. But sometimes it feels like criticism. So you just have to take it to a positive place. Ladies?
We have a saying in the Aphrodite temple, and that saying is cry time now, or cry time not now. Every Aphrodite before me and after me and into the future forever will have a moment that is called cry time now. Before festival, when we were in person, every Aphrodite that I knew had a moment right before we went on any one of the mysteries and the parts that she would be like, ah! And usually we don't know what it is. We're just crying, or it's like my hair. This is my cry time moment was when I had on this beautiful white sari. And I looked gorgeous, and then they wanted to put on a microphone on me because I'm quiet, and that meant the microphone was gonna, like, they had little like black boxes that were supposed to be like on the front so the sound goes out toward the people, but I was like, it's gonna make my outfit look terrible, and I'm gonna look ugly, and I can't have this. Luckily, my Hephaestus that year, Liz Davis, was like, I got you, and fixed it for me and made me look beautiful. But oh my God, I was like, this is gonna ruin everything. So yeah, Bella's right. It's those little things. She goes.
So I was a bit of an anomaly. Brenna referred to me as the curse breaker because the entire time during mysteries, I did not have my cry time now. That's actually how the phrase originated, because I was standing there, fully garbed up, going, I should be crying right now. This is usually when the Aphrodite cries. Cry time now? No, not cry time. Cry time now? Oh, go on stage time? Okay. Oh, torture Bella backstage time? Okay. No, my cry time
Yeah, that's
happened.
because you were backstage torturing me.
No, the only time we came close to cry time was when it was raining and Eros and Ares were shielding me from the rain. And Aphrodite's like, okay, we do cry time. No, Aphrodite, we get pissed now. So that was fun. As far as my appearance went, maybe it's conceited of me to say, but I look good. And I know it. Like, I remember Bella saying, it's like, you already know you look good. You already are confident. That's why I want you up there. And I'll go put that red dress on. And I'm just like, okay, get naked. Like, I would have made it a striptease if I could have done it, but. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Anna.
Well, so my Aphrodite really wanted to have a stripper pole in her shrine. And my boyfriend at the time was ready to make it happen. But instead we ended up online, and I'll probably talk a little bit more about what that was like later. But I will say this about appearance wise, she was very critical and nitpicky about things that could be fixed within 10 minutes. Like, okay, you gotta fix your makeup, your skin's looking a little weird, you need a new shirt, you gotta straighten your hair. But things that couldn't be fixed in 10 minutes, like my weight, my body type, like wrinkles under my eyes, things like that. She was less critical about that. In fact, she was pretty much dead silent about my body type. She really was encouraging me to love my body and love myself. It was the things that could be changed she wanted changed. Bella and Minty and Brenna all touched on this, that she's about perfecting the vessel and bringing out the beauty that you already have. She doesn't want you to change yourself in a way that would cause you pain.
For me, the body image definitely is a rising factor, because, you know, I've always been that way, so it's just enhanced, but not in a bad way, because Aphrodite contacted me maybe like a year ago, and her favorite thing to tell me was, all right, so you said something negative about yourself. Let me show you something that's super funny. Okay, yeah. Get naked, right? Turn around, look at yourself, smack that cake ass. Did you laugh? Did it jiggle? That's right. And that's my favorite thing to do every time. Like, I'm getting dressed. That could be better. Wait, smack that cake ass. It's the greatest thing. Yeah, I think that's all I have to offer.
That's awesome, Millicent. Yes, I like the smack in the butt too. That's pretty good. She taught me that jiggling flesh is pretty sexy. So, yeah. So, the next question is, what's your favorite story or myth of Aphrodite, and what does it share with you about her mysteries? Okay, so I think that there's somebody else that wants to go first. Minty. We'll turn it over to the mythology priestess.
Hi there, my name's Minty. I'm a mythology witch with a lot of opinions. There are many myths about Aphrodite. First of all, we need to remember that Aphrodite is actually derived from Astarte, who is Sumerian. So use that information how you will. One of my favorite myths about her is actually the myth about Adonis and the custody battle of the ages between her and Persephone over this boy, and her being like, he's mine, I love him so much. And Persephone is just like, just wait, he's eventually going to come back to me, bitch. And explaining that eternal rivalry because they butt heads like you would not believe. And what that tells me, it just kind of confirmed something that I already knew about the myths and the mysteries, is that Aphrodite is crazy like a fox. She's incredibly smart and she plays the long game. She had Persephone married off to get rid of a rival. Let's just get that cleared up. But the fact that she loved Adonis so completely and so selflessly to the point where she literally could not just let him go, that was really, really touching to me. Also, her creation myth, which is something that really spoke to me when I was holding her, where she is born from Uranus's phallus as it was thrown into the sea. Aphrodite is more than a goddess. She is a titan. She is one step down from being a primordial. Love is an all-powerful force, and it starts wars. It ends wars. It saves people. It destroys. It is something that is so amazing, and it's just like fire. You have to be careful with it, otherwise things can go awry, but you can also build cities. And I think that was something that really, really struck me when I held her, and just how powerful she really is.
Thank you, Minty. I love the vision of mighty Aphrodite, because people want to think that, oh, Aphrodite is weak and she's just a love goddess. Well, people kill over love. Crimes of passion is a thing. You know, people go to war for the Troy laid siege, you know, the whole thing, the Trojan War, the loose lips sink ships kind of thing. You know, you will find, no matter what happens, no matter who's holding Aphrodite, when you go to Spring Mysteries, the line to go see Aphrodite is out the door, around the building. You have to wait. because everybody wants what Aphrodite has to offer, you know? So I love it. Does anybody else have a favorite myth? Are you good? Okay.
So my favorite myth is the myth of her and Ares going at it and Hephaestus playing a prank on them and trapping them in chains. And here's why I love that, because everyone interprets that myth as Hephaestus being like, haha, I caught you, and Aphrodite and Ares being like, oh no, you got me. And it's actually like, oh no, you caught us. What are you gonna do about it too? You want to, like, oh no. Well, so we're here and we have this whole trap of chains that you could maybe join us in. That and that kind of leads into another question I saw that we'll get at later about the relationship between Hephaestus and Ares and Aphrodite. But I like that myth because it reiterates to me that Aphrodite doesn't see, or the gods don't view monogamy and the way humans do. And Aphrodite loves everybody because she sees the beauty in everybody. She loves Hephaestus because he gives her shiny shit. And she loves Ares because she sees herself as a war goddess in him and he's super hot. And like, she loves Poseidon because she came from his sea foam. She loves Zeus because he's Sky Daddy. Like it, and it's really just who she is. It's her nature to love everybody and to see beauty and sexuality in everybody. Yeah.
I agree. And there's also two Aphrodites. There is the Aphrodite at Taurus, which is all about possessions and the self and grooming in Aries. And then there's Aphrodite at Libra, which is more about relationships and Hephaestus and the power of the partnership, which leads us to our next question. Oh, and my favorite thing about Aphrodite is the one where Ovid wrote, it says, we say it in the mysteries, Cupid, come, how does it go?
Arrows, come.
Arrows, come quick. Take your flashing arrows, which never fail, and fire them straightly into the heart of that dark god from whom the last part of our triple empire came. And it goes on and on. So that's my favorite one. And that's why it's always in the mysteries, because I get privileged being an archpriestess. I can use it in important places. And to me, that's the important place, right? So
Eliminating a rival.
Yeah. I'm curious to know how personal relationships with love in your life has changed since holding her. One of the things that really stunned me about holding Aphrodite is that you see yourself as the lover, everybody's lover. You see that person through the eyes of Aphrodite, and Aphrodite has been in the body of their lover. So she has intimate knowledge about everybody that you meet. And you see everybody, as Brenna said, this perfect, gorgeous, beautiful, sexy, attractive being. And it's interesting, you know, but it also helps me personally with my relationship. I was already madly in love, but one of the things that it enhanced in my relationship was recognizing the appreciation that I had for that feeling that my partner is perfect. And I know that Dusty has flaws, but they don't befront me none. You know, I love him. I think he's perfect, and I wouldn't have him any other way. So that's all I can say about that. Who else wants to go?
What I love about Aphrodite influencing my view on romance in general is that as a demi-bisexual, I usually I focus more on events that we can share. Like, I love cuddling. I love sharing my favorite show, a book, a movie, stuff. And then after a while of sharing my favorite stuff, you know, like a cat, I then come to realize just how sacred it is to be in a relationship where you are safe, you feel safe, and you really respect the other person and know that you can free yourself as much as you are with that other person. And yeah, that's usually what goes on in my mind of, okay, got a shield, I got a shield. Let's break out of that. Let's warm up. It's wonderful to feel that.
Anybody else?
I'll go.
So-
Oh, sorry. Go
you
ahead.
go ahead, Anna.
Oh, okay. Aphrodite was the crucible of me becoming is not the word, realizing that I am polyamorous, and as a demisexual / bisexual, hypersexual, polyamorous person, I just get in toxic relationship after toxic relationship after toxic relationship. And Aphrodite showed me how to stop that cycle, and also really made it feel okay to me to explore polyamory simply because she sees the beauty in and sexiness in everybody, and that there's no shame in feeling romantic and sexual thoughts over more than one person. And I'm sure that will get some controversy in the comments, and that's okay. That was simply my experience. And it also taught me that it's important to look for, I'm not phrasing this well, I'm sorry. That, like I was saying before about if a person is toxic, you need to get rid of them because it's not honoring her.
I had a very similar experience with Aphrodite, being a polyamorous individual and being very pansexual and being a hoe. I know what I am. She definitely was someone who's like, okay, it's okay that you're a slut. We're just going to make sure that you find adequate partners. And she basically helped take the Band-Aid off a lot of really toxic people in my life. And it's like, so we're just going to have this person get out of your life, and we're going to get rid of this person. You can be entertained by this person while you're waiting around. And my husband was holding Hephaestus that year, and our antics were quite fun, to put it in a PG way. So
That's awesome.
it was a complicated year, but a lot of interesting things happened.
Awesome. Awesome. So the next question is, what is the hardest thing about caring for the Aphrodite shrine? I think that it's not breaking the jewelry. What do y'all think?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff, and Aphrodite is not delicate. She's not delicate. You would think she was gonna be delicate, but she breaks all her stuff, yo. And there's so much stuff. So
It's why we're
the
with the
amount of
dentist. He's got to fix it all.
Yeah.
that is so dead true. It is, and she is not handy. I can make anything except for when I was Aphrodite, and I called my Hephaestus, and I was like, I am buying things for you to make for me. He was like, okay.
Yeah, the other phrase aside from cry time now that gets coined by the Aphrodite temple is Hephaestus, make better.
Yeah, and she's not neat. Like, she's got, somebody else is supposed to clean up after her. You know, she doesn't put things back where they go. She throws everything on, and then she leaves the room destroyed behind her. So that's part of it. And then the Aphrodite shrine, well, the Aphrodite shrine has its own particular things going on. And so keeping people cleaning up after their selves and not leaving evidence of worship sometimes is a fun thing. Ladies, y'all have anything to add?
I would like.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would like to second that Aphrodite breaks everything, and she makes a mess of literally everything. She cannot function with herself. When you're holding Aphrodite, you have to have someone there that is going to help you. The online part of this is actually going in a little bit to the next question I saw Amber ask, but the online aspect for Aphrodite is so hard because no one's there to do her makeup and no one's there to do her hair. Like all the other years, someone else does it all because I am a very capable human being. I can do my makeup, I can do my hair, I can move stuff, I can pick stuff up and carry it. But when you're Aphrodite, you can't do anything. I even tried, and people literally just took stuff out of my hands as I was trying to like help people and carry things. They're like, no. They don't let Aphrodite do for herself either because they love to take care of her. So the hardest part for caring for the Aphrodite shrine, definitely the things that break because they need fixed. And then, yeah, that I think that's the hardest part. Physically wise, anyway, yes.
Agreed. And Brenna, might I say, your eyeliner is on point.
Before I held Aphrodite, I couldn't do makeup to save my life. Thank God for Aphrodite.
Yeah, that's part of the instruction. Anna, did you have something to add? Or did she get it?
She mostly got it. I was gonna add that I accidentally had sex on her sheets and then washed them and no one knew, and I'm confessing this now.
Go ahead, Ellie.
I'm not someone who pouts a lot, but this year I have pouted many times. If anybody sees a little lip sticking out, it's because I'm frustrated that I have to exist. I have to clean. Oh, where's the mop? I have to set up my background. Oh, there's so many backgrounds. Just do it. Can I be Mary Poppins today? Just like with it. Many pouts.
Yeah, I think that's one of the funniest parts. Brenna used to always be like, do I have to? And she would show us her cleavage. It's like, no, dear, you don't have to do anything. Thank you. One of my favorite stories. Now, when is the best time to worship Aphrodite? Is all the time. There is no wrong time to worship Aphrodite. She rules in all three realms, and she wants people to worship her all the time. And of course, lovemaking is also another way to worship her if you're thinking about her during lovemaking, which sometimes we're not. You know, lovemaking is more of the time when Aphrodite's thinking about us. But one of the things that I wanted to do is ask everybody what their favorite story was about being invoked with Aphrodite, because my favorite story was that, like what Brenna said was, you know, like I'm Athena this year. When Athena has something to say, she says it and then she's gone. And then I'm me the rest of the time. When I was Demeter the whole time. As Aphrodite, I went in and we did the major invoking at the beginning of rehearsals, right? And there was this great big Aphrodite statue, and she looked down at me, and then I could see, I was like looking up at the statue, and then the next thing I knew, I could see the back of the statue's arm, and I could see my body, and I watched my body walk out. And I was like, well, that's weird. And then every time I went into that room, I could see the room from the back of, like, there was the back of Aphrodite's arm, and there was little bitty me way down at the bottom. And I was like, that's so weird. Why is this my view? And then when it was all over with, I was devoked, and then I was standing back at the foot of her statue, looking up at this huge, huge statue. I was little bitty. She was huge, like King Kong size big. And behind her were all these dolls, all these figurines that were her vessels. And there was me. And I realized that she had literally put my soul on the shelf and walked around in my body for 4 months, which made complete sense to me because I was not me. Like, I had all my memories and I could function at work and I could do all of the things, but I couldn't walk by flowers without buying them. And there were just some very different mannerisms about me. And then when it was over, that was gone. And those are very fond memories. That's not a bad thing at all. I thought it was super neat. So what are your guys' favorite experiences?
So when I held Aphrodite, I worked at a daycare. And I learned while holding Aphrodite and working at a daycare, Aphrodite loves babies. She loves them so much, and the babies remember her because it's thanks to her that they've reincarnated in this baby form. And so this one time, I'm holding this little baby who's having a fussy day. This baby is teething. It's just not having a good time. And I hear Aphrodite in the back of my head. Demeter's the great mother goddess, but you're here because of me. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Especially you, little baby. And that little baby just looked up at me. Big old toothy grin. Later on, I had to walk into the infant room, and all those babies looked at me. Well, Aphrodite's like, oh, babies! And the babies, ah, I am going back in the womb.
Yeah, I have a story about Minty and the backstage story before we move on from this. But you go ahead, Elizabeth. I'm going to tell the backstage story because that's my favorite one about Minty. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
I'll be very short. All I like so far, since it's been a short time, is the isms. Whenever I get invoked, it's always, okay, a little tear because, wow, this is overwhelming energy. And then also the hand. It's always like acting like I have long nails. Yes. Always with these big gestures, because, you know, attention is on me right now. I love it.
I'm gonna tell you what, my favorite memory of when I was holding Aphrodite, I have two, and they're one of them is of one scene that we still keep in the mysteries. You'll see it. It's between Aphrodite and Hecate. It is my most favorite thing to do. I want to be Aphrodite again and do it again. And it's so fun. She gets to be sassy. She gets to be smart and cunning, and it's awesome. And then my other favorite thing is, I'm ridiculous, but it is when I put on Aphrodite's, well, I guess technically it's Bella's white goddess sari. I put on that sari, and I looked down at myself, and I looked up, and everyone in the room went, and that's when I knew I had hit the Aphrodite, and I went, oh, yes. I don't ever act like that. It felt so good to get to.
That orange dress you had was pretty stunning too. Yeah. Anna, do you have a favorite?
I honestly, I mean, and I don't want to sound dramatic, but my year as Aphrodite was pretty painful. I don't want to start crying, but when being online as Aphrodite was probably, it wasn't fun, and it was very it crushed her, and it was really hard. Like, every year since then, when I see the new vessel be beautiful, it's wonderful, and it just breaks me a little bit. The worst part, it wasn't doing my makeup by myself. It wasn't, getting dressed by myself. It was the being alone, because she is I mean, she chose her family. She's a Titan and decided that she wanted to vibe with the Olympians, and not being able to be with everybody, and it really sucked.
Well, and nobody brought you flowers, and yeah, it's all of the things, and those are really important. But the good news is that means that we'll get to have honor the Aphrodite again in the future in the flash. Yes, that we will. Yes.
Yeah,
we
Anna
will.
held her in 2020 in the year of the poof. So rightfully so.
Yeah.
She got some big downloads and some big emotions from that.
And I still stare at those pictures and drool. So, you know, it was you were fantastic. But I will admit that my year as Aphrodite was really difficult, and I have yet to see, I guess, Ellie, I don't really know what else going on in your world as much. And Ellie, I don't know, are you an Aquarius? Ellie just kind of floats above all of this stuff anyway. But Aphrodite's is a dramatic experience, and I know that me and Brenna both had really difficult times, and I remember there were other Aphrodites who had really difficult times during that time with figuring out. But let me tell you about what Minty did backstage. Here's the story, okay? So when we're invoked, and we're like deep in, but it's full on possession, right? Like we're not there, and we all have to go backstage and wait. And if you can imagine a bunch of gods sitting around waiting, trying to stay invoked, and you can't make a single sound, because any sound you make is going to be seen, heard out front, right? It's going to distract from what's going on stage. So we're all trying to be quiet. And we're talking hours, you know, it's like an hour and a half. I've been sitting back here all dressed up as the queen of the gods, and Minty is Aphrodite. And I just adore Aphrodite. She's so cute. She does all of these little things that's just so adorable. So I'm watching Aphrodite, she's doing it now. I'm watching Aphrodite, and she's got on these really sparkly shoes, and the sun's hitting them. So she's like playing with the sunlight on her shoes and moving her shoes back and forth. And I'm watching her shoes, and and then she's got a curl. And so she's playing with the curl and curling it up and watching it down and curling it up. She's playing with her bracelets and, you know, stuff like that. And she's just enjoying the fabulousness that she is, right? And she looks up, and she's watching the sunlight on her shoes. And she looks up and she sees me, and she goes, ha, 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 ha. And then she starts, that's when we talk about Minty Aphrodite torturing Bella backstage, because I'm like, stop it, you're gonna pull me out of trance. You're gonna pull me out of invocation, stop it. And she was like, no, this is fun now. But so that was quite fun. Minty playing with Aphrodite playing with all her accoutrements, and me being like, Bella's paying attention. I had to re-invoke. Okay, I'm Hera. I'm Hera. Ah. So that was a lot of fun. Do we have a final message from our connection with Aphrodite for the viewers tonight? So, ladies, do you have a final message?
I would like to just throw in that we have had a lot of good conversations tonight about how fun it is to be Aphrodite. It's also as fun as it is hard as well. It really pushes you and tests you, and it really tried me in my relationship at the time, and it was very difficult. So this work, while it is super fun, we also have to do the super hard work to have the super fun. So we're not sitting here having all the happy fun time and no hard work time. There's plenty of shadow work to go around, let me tell you. So that is her message from me, though, is life is as fun and it is as hard. So, enjoy the good times while you can. Enjoy the little things that make you happy, because you're going to have hard times that you're going to need to get through, and those happy memories are going to help you get through it. So don't feel like you can't take time to have fun for yourself and enjoy yourself because you need those good times to get through the hard times.
I have a message for you guys, and that is, don't name your pets after Aphrodite. I named my cat Venus. Not this cat. This cat's name is Dave. But when I was 16, the first cat I adopted, I named her Venus. I thought that was a great idea. It wasn't. So, I mean, she became a very ferocious predator, and there was a time that she killed a blue jay, and blue jays mate for life, and so its mate was just freaking out like, caw, caw, my mate's dead, and she just sits down so delicately, so primly under the picnic table and starts just daintily eating this blue jay in front of the other blue jays. It was terrifying, and she's like, yes, I am the queen. So, you know, don't name your pets after gods, but especially don't name your pets after Aphrodite. That's why this one is Dave and not a god.
Good advice for sure. Okay, any other quick words?
Eat the compliment broccoli, because you are going to doubt yourself if you hold Aphrodite every single moment of every single day. I mean, yes, smack that K-cast because you got it, but you're going to also doubt that you look good in pictures. So accept compliments when they are given to you by people that you trust, because they are true compliments. They're not blowing smoke up your booty. You actually look real nice. So trust it.
First of all, Anna, bold of you to assume that Dave is not a cat in god form, or a god in cat form. Second of all, if you do not see the beauty in yourself, she is going to tape your eyelids to your forehead and make you see it. So learn your lessons while the first level is easy, because otherwise she's going to put you in the underwater level, and the underwater level is always hard if you're familiar with video games.
Agreed. The uniqueness about you is what makes you gorgeous. The Dusty showed me a picture of this girl. She had a really big nose, but she was proud of it, and she was taking pictures of it, and she was like, I look amazing, and she did. And then there's this model who has vitiligo that just, you know, all over. She's gorgeous because she rocks it. If you're heavy, rock it. If you know what, you don't have boobs, it doesn't matter. We're all looking at that ass. You know, it's whatever it is that is awesome and unique about you is what makes you beautiful. And when you get that, then you don't have that doubt anymore. And then you can be the embodiment of beauty and the goddess, because, you know, the goddess didn't have time to make a nobody, right? You're absolutely perfect just like you are. And that's what we all struggle with. So enjoy who you are. If you're the only body you get, enjoy it. Thank you so much for providing this opportunity for us to share.